The longer that we postpone the great ideas that we have, really it just increases the odds of us not getting back to it. Just think about anything that happens on a daily basis in your life. Some things may be unexpected, some things may go according to plan, but no matter what, you experience at least a couple things during your day that you probably wouldn't have guessed would have probably happened. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take the time to gather your thoughts and actually make sure that you're making a calculated plan, but there's a difference between preparation and planning for the future and really just being stagnant and wasting time. If you understand the clear difference between the two, then this will be easy for you to make those necessary adjustments so that you don't forget to do the things that you know that you need to be doing. But don't allow lack of direction to stop you from getting started. And really, this was one of my problems for the longest time, because oftentimes we feel as if we don't necessarily know what direction to go in, that's a bad thing. And oftentimes when you're going into the unknown, when you're pursuing a new career path or you're taking a risk, for your future, you do not have all the answers. You may not even know what direction to go in. So therefore, it's not necessarily about knowing where you're headed. It's just about having enough confidence in yourself to be able to see it through, especially at low points like this, where you may lack support, where you may lack confidence, and even in this case, you may lack direction. But the sooner that you execute, the sooner that you put yourself in a position to be able to learn from your mistakes. And mistakes are really just something that's just going to come with the journey. I don't even necessarily like to shy away from my flaws and the downsides of trying to reach these new high points in life, because me personally, I take pride in the moments where I don't necessarily have everything figured out, but I'm able to make calculated moves to be able to persist, because these moments are really what's going to teach me the most. If you don't view hardships or moments during your life where you may be confused or you may lack a sense of direction as an opportunity, then you really just need to change your perception, because it's really just that. It's really an opportunity for you to advance further than you've ever been. But this sense of capitalizing off your mistakes is really what's going to be the thing that gives you the confidence that you need in order to persist. That's why I feel like it's very important for us to start our days early. The more time that you utilize, the more time that you take advantage of in order to change the course of your life, just increases the odds of that actually coming into play. And I feel like for the majority of us, we'd probably just set these high goals for ourselves, and we'd always put them somewhere near in the future, where we think when life is aligned according to how we want it to be aligned, then we'll take the chance, we'll take that leap of faith to go out and make those things happen. But in reality, this is nothing more than us selling ourselves a dream. You telling yourself you're going to get through something when the time is right, or when you feel like you're in a great or a better position to do so, is you not taking accountability. Some people do this because they're afraid of failure, and other people simply do it because they may not feel like they have the resources that they may need in order to get the result that they want. But just start with what you have. You don't have to be in the best position possible to see the best results. Sometimes you may be the one person that's just the oddball and gets the result that nobody would expect. There's so many people out here that are really just blessed, and they get put in a position where they're able to change the course of their entire lives based on something that they really just didn't even plan for, they didn't expect to happen. So why can it happen to you? And I'm not saying that it will, but you just never know. So you should always just want to put yourself in a position to even just try to get the most out of your situation. But no matter what direction you're going in, it's very important that you decrease the time between an idea that you have and executing. And executing to me is nothing more than skipping all of the in-between nonsense, where you may be overthinking, where you may lack confidence, where you may be scared, skipping all of that and just acting. You don't even have to get the best result possible at first. When you're beginning something, when you're first starting something, more than likely it's going to be a trial and error type of thing, where you're putting yourself in a position to learn from your failures or those things that you may experience while you're barely starting off. But you have to execute. You have to go on with the confidence, hoping and knowing that you can be the one that changes. You can be the one that gets the result that you want. Believing in yourself is essential on this journey. If you do not have the confidence, if you're not somebody who can truly look at yourself in the mirror and think that I know that I'm capable of doing the things that I say, then I don't know what to tell you, because change is truly dependent on you. Change is dependent on the way that you think. Change is dependent on the way that you process things. And change is also dependent on how open-minded you are to the concept of change itself. So many people don't understand that the reason why their life does not change is because they've allowed their viewpoint on what's possible to be so skewed and minimized to what they're only exposed to. Life is much more than what we've all seen, and I know that my viewpoint is a very small portion of what's truly out there. And you have to understand this, because this always puts you in a position to be a student and to be willing to learn, to be willing to consume the knowledge or whatever it may be that you can utilize to help change the course of your life. We don't have the time to sit and brainstorm 1,000 different ideas or 1,000 different possibilities for our lives and not work towards putting those things into effect. They are not going to always turn out the way that you want them to turn out, but you have to work towards getting something done. Procrastination is such a huge problem for so many people, and it wasn't necessarily my problem growing up, but I've had so many friends who just procrastinated on the things that they truly believe that they are capable of doing. And then at some point you reach this road, and on this road you realize that it's either now or never. And usually, after you've wasted so much time, after you put yourself in a position to procrastinate up until this point, when it finally gets to the point where it's either all or never, you're not even prepared, or you're not even ready to take that step. So then you have to let your dreams go. You have to let the things that you truly believe that you're capable of doing fade away because you missed your opportunity. And I don't want none of y'all to be put in a position where you're 100% capable of doing something, but you're just not doing it because you're worried about everything else. But your life transforming into the life that you wanted is dependent on nothing more than your ability to close the gap between an idea and executing. The quicker that you can learn to put something into effect, the quicker that you learn how to improvise and utilize what you have and just get started. Not even necessarily saying that you have to make sufficient progress right away, but if you can just get started, just get the ball rolling, the rest will come into play and play out exactly how it should. Because when you're first starting off, you don't really have no momentum. You probably won't even have the support that you truly need to actually keep going. But when you first start, when people see, okay, he's starting something, and you feel good about yourself, and you feel like you're actually working towards something, and it starts to feed your soul, and it makes you feel like you're doing things that are worthwhile, it's going to be a lot easier for you to keep going and to keep pushing forward and to keep striving for the things that you want out of life. You do not know what the future has in store. Not saying you shouldn't plan for it just because that, but you should focus more on doing things that you have complete control of doing at this very moment. But I promise you, if you put yourself in a position where you genuinely learn how to do this, if you learn how to execute, if you learn how to not waste time, to stop procrastinating, to minimize the amount of distractions, your entire life will change. I remember I got to one point in my life where I would discipline myself if I did not do the things that I say that I was going to do. If I had 10 tasks to do during a week and I wouldn't take care of none of those tasks, I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't be on social media, I wouldn't put myself in a position to be rewarded for bad behavior. You have to be strict on yourself like this. And as crazy as it sounds, we all still need this form of discipline in order to continuously strive and make progress. This is where the whole concept of accountability comes in. If you have not developed this trait yet, you need to do everything in your power to hold yourself accountable and to be responsible for the decisions that you're making, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to live with the results of them being good decisions or them being bad decisions. So take full accountability for your life and start executing. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tate. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.